welcome all of you to the webinar. There's a few of you. Not everyone fit the requirements, so this isn't one of those webinars where 300 or 400 people show up. We usually just get a few, 5 to 10, every time we run it. And depending on what time of day it is and what the date is, this webinar may or may not be live. You may be watching a pre-recorded webinar. So we're only going to take a few minutes of your time here. This is not a 2-hour webinar, an hour, 20 minutes. You're probably looking at 10 or 15 minutes here. We're just going to get into the guts of it. And let me get my water ready here. And here we get started. How to get more cosmetic plastic surgery patients. Very, very simple. My name is Rick Sedlowski. I run a company called The Yellow Gorilla. I've been very successful creating marketing funnels, creating websites, and driving traffic to these websites and turning this traffic into actual leads for different companies, for different segments of different companies, and in different niches. However, I have almost exclusively concentrated on medical marketing, specifically the plastic surgery niche, because I started doing something and developing a system that actually started to work. And yes, that is a picture from a few years ago of my family in beautiful Grand Haven, Michigan. So, you're the doctor, you're the decision maker, and you're sick and tired of getting these phone calls. You get calls from marketing companies all the time. They start selling you on SEO and how they can make your backlinks move your page rank up and how they can make you first on Google. And they talk about all this internet marketing mumbo jumbo. Well, you know as well as I do that you're not supposed to understand what happens behind the scenes. You don't care about what happens behind the scenes. You only want one thing. And what is that one thing? You can type it in on the webinar here if you want. What is that one thing? Say it in your head. More patients. Period. That's what you want. You don't care what goes into it on the back end. I'm going to explain to you a little bit about what goes into it, but you really want more patients, and you want patients that are truly interested in the surgeries that you perform. And let me give you a little bit of a background of my story, specific to this niche. I was hired by a doctor. We're going to call him Dr. G. And he was running a multi-million-dollar plastic surgery company, cosmetic plastic surgery company. And he was sick and tired of spending all this exorbitant amounts of money on cable advertising and yellow pages. And he had these TV ads that were wonderful, but they cost so much money. And he found that they were spending so much money on marketing and advertising, as they were making less and less money per surgery, it changed the whole entire aspect of his company. Instead of him concentrating on high quality, excellent surgeries, giving the customer, the patient, everything that they wanted, they were doing all this, 2-for-1 deal. Buy a rhinoplasty, you get a bleph for free. And, he felt that it was kind of unethical the way they were promoting the business. So he literally walked away from a multi-million-dollar company, handed the keys to his partner and said, you take the company, you take the debt, there's a different way to do this. So he had some requirements for me. He said, we're only going to use the internet to generate leads. We are not going to spend money on the yellow pages or any of this other advertising mediums like Comcast or cable, TV advertisement. And he wanted to make sure that people actually did something while they were on the website to show that they were truly interested. So what we went about doing is we spent a lot of money in different areas. We did Google advertising, Facebook advertising, banner advertising. We did Facebook promoted posts and YouTube videos and advertising. And we started spending money. In fact, we spent way over $10,000. We probably spent about $25,000 running ads and testing. And we definitely, did get surgeries during this time. But we were finding that just spending money on Google ads, we were getting such a high click rate, or such a high cost per click. It wasn't uncommon where a tummy tuck click costs $8, $9, $10, $12. And a click is a click. A click really doesn't mean anything. People click on, they click off, it costs $8 each time. It can get very, very expensive unless you know what you're doing and you do things right. And finally, after all this testing and split testing and going into the nitty-gritty of what it took to get people to actually go through this funnel and come out the other side as a patient and make a consultation, I finally started cracking the code. And here was the key to everything right now. You're actually looking at a lead capture page that we developed. And this lead capture page is extremely important because it had all the elements on it that we needed. And this capture page was actually developed over the course of time and tested out, and we found that this worked the best. There's actually, what's amazing about this capture page is we have a call to action right on it. This isn't a website. This is complementary to your website. You promote this along with your website. Very specific to tummy tucks and mommy makeovers, which we found were a very high profit margin. And we only put a few things on here: before and after pictures, meet the doctor, info on tummy tuck, info on mommy makeover. We have the name of the company, the phone number, and we have a specific call to action where they put their name, email, phone number, a message. There's a little text box on the right lower that says, what is 2 plus 2? That's to make sure it's a live person and not just a robot. And they would click on this contact button, and it would immediately send an email to us, and then we would filter the email and get it over to the doctor's office. Well, it's amazing because what we had here and what we did was we had an efficient way to collect leads. After we collected this lead and they put their email in, they would receive a phone call from someone in the company. And oftentimes people wouldn't answer the phone. Sometimes they would. They would make a consultation. What we found is when they gave us their information, they were more apt to answer a phone call from us. And what happened is when we collect the lead, that lead, we'll call them, which is going to turn into a patient, was then sent this series of emails over the course of the next week that explained the specific surgery, talked a little bit about the company, but always in the email it drove them to make phone calls back to us to actually book a consultation. What we found out by testing a little bit of SEO, a little bit of Facebook, a little bit of Google, a little bit of banner ads, is we found a way to drive leads that will cost literally 7 to 15 times less than a Facebook ad. So we are getting clicks on Facebook for $7, but we are getting clicks through some of these other means. We are using Google ads and getting clicks for $7, and we are getting clicks on Facebook and through SEO and YouTube for much, much less, 50, 60, 70 cents a click, sometimes even half that, because we knew exactly what the copy should be and exactly the targets and all the mumbo jumbo that goes on that you really don't care about. You just want to know you're going to get more leads, but this is what we did behind the scenes. And as soon as we turn this faucet on, it was instantaneous. We turned it on. Within a few days, people came in. They filled out this special form that we developed and tested, and they clicked on an ad that we developed and tested, and we instantaneously started getting qualified leads. We were really excited because what we had been talking about for a long time, just using the internet for our marketing, actually started working. So you know a lot about SEO because people are doing SEO for you probably right now, and you have done SEO in the past. And this is SEO versus us and what we do. Okay, so with SEO, the goal is to get to the top of Google, and you get to the top of Google, and you pay a lot of money, and you get #1 ranking for tummy tuck in your city. Let's say it's Rochester, New York, and you're so happy because you're #1. And then a week later, all of a sudden you find yourself on page 15, which you know that once you're on page 2 in Google, nobody ever clicks over to page 2 on Google. So we call this a Google dance. You go up and down in Google and up and down, and you know that when you start spending money on SEO, the price constantly goes up, and it goes up, not because the SEO company wants to make more money. It goes up because Google does certain things. They literally change their algorithm. And it's random sort of when they do this. One day you need 10 backlinks with an anchor text this way or an anchor text this way. Again, more mumbo jumbo that we do here. And you get to the top, and then Google changes things, and bam, you're on page 3. Well, you didn't pay for that. It's not the company's fault that's doing your SEO. They're doing their due diligence, and they're working hard. It's because Google changes their algorithm constantly. So you're constantly on the hook with these companies for more and more money. What I'm saying is that if you're paying, $1,500 or $2,000 a month for your SEO now, they're going to say, hey, some Google made some changes. We might have to put the price up. Or they'll come in after 6 months of not doing work for you and say, hey, we have to change everything around. And the SEO market is also super highly competitive. If I'm doing SEO in your market, someone else is doing SEO in your market for one of your competitors. And what happens is everyone is chasing after these top slots, and it gets more and more expensive. We're a little bit different. We have several different packages designed to set the price in stone, and without building upon that, you don't have to constantly pay more money. You don't get slapped by Google, because we're not trying to put you at the top of Google per se, although we do have a few techniques that we use through YouTube that help out a lot. And sometimes do get you to the top of Google on certain keywords. We're using paid advertising, and we're using SEO, we're using Facebook, and we're using Google. We're using a combination of things that we know works to get your cost per click down and your cost per patient up. Okay, so what you get from us is you get leads, period. Leads come in through email, leads will call you. You get a personalized lead capture page, which I had showed you. You will give us a little bit of information, we'll put it on the lead capture page, it will be yours. Okay, essentially you're renting this from us. You'll get a follow-up email sequence. We will put your information in it, an email sequence that we know works. Sometimes sending people too much information through email is not what they want. They just want a reminder. It takes 7 or 8 points of contact sometimes for people to call you back, and we've proven this time and time again. We've proven this. You will call people, and they won't answer, and they won't answer. Then all of a sudden they answer their phone 5 calls later and say, oh, Dr. So-and-so's office is calling. I'm so happy you guys are calling us. I've been meaning to call you. Yes, I want to make a consultation. We also do lead tracking. You're going to see real results. You're going to know who called because we track phone calls that go to your office. And on top of that, we can check the email sequence and see where people are emailing you back and calling you. And we also send real-time emails to you, usually on a daily basis. And you can track your leads very simply that way. Okay? You get all the mumbo-jumbo management, the SEO, the Google, the ads, the Facebook, banner advertising. You get all of this happens in the background, though. We're not concerned with explaining all this to you because you really, really don't want to know that. You want leads to come out the other side. And as you as the doctor, really you want patients and you want surgeries. Here's an example of some real results. We're getting 50-cent clicks on average, and we're generating patients for as low as $50 to $100 per patient. This is just an example from the last few days when I made this video. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 leads here. One of them actually put a comment on the website that said, what are your prices? How does this work? And what we have here is we're showing you that leads actually have come in, a couple on May 1st, one on May 2nd, 3 or 4 on May 3rd, a few on May 4th. What could you do with these leads? Let's say there's 10 leads here, okay? 10 real leads. If you call them up and you make consultations, let's say you book 6 consultations, 7 consultations out of these leads. I mean, they're qualified leads. They're interested because they've given you their information. They're basically saying, hey, call us. We want to talk to you. So if you get 6 or 7 of these leads to come in and have a consultation, then your business takes over. Then you determine how many of these leads turn into actual surgical cases. If 6 people come into your office, or 7 people, and you book 3 or 4 surgeries off that. Now, I don't know what your cost is for a tummy tuck, but I'm guessing you make, anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 on a tummy tuck, and even more than that. So on average, if you're booking 2 or 3 cases off of these leads, I mean, you're already profiting, $6,000 to $10,000, depending on how much it costs per surgery, and depending on how many of these leads you can actually turn into cases. Okay, so what does this cost? Let's talk about our pricing. First of all, up to 50% of our price goes into the advertising, the SEO, the Facebook, the Pinterest, the Google ads, the backlinking, all the SEO mumbo jumbo you don't have to worry about because we deliver leads to you. We design a custom package specifically for your plastic surgery business. You can get started today for a very low cost, and the reason why, and I'll reveal that cost in a minute, the reason why is because I want to prove myself to you. I want to prove that my company actually delivers qualified leads to you. If we cannot deliver a lead to you, if we cannot deliver qualified leads to you, we will give you double this initial investment back, no questions asked. You can get started today for only $99. So, what do you get for $99? Well, you get the custom design lead page, you get your first leads that are emailed to you. We will call you, and we are setting you up 100%, because after we develop these leads and you realize, wow, we are getting surgeries and we are getting leads, we are booking consultations off of this service, you're going to want to keep going. You're absolutely going to want to keep going. In fact, I'm stunned by some of my clients because they tell me we make more off of one mommy makeover than your entire service costs for the entire month, and we're getting several different mommy makeovers a month. It's absolutely 100% affordable for your industry. We will send you a link to get you started. This is how it works. We suggest you stay on board for at least 3 months after you've made your decision. Your company credit card is billed monthly. All you do is you fill out a basic form with your specific information, and we begin, again, sending you email and phone call leads immediately after the first initial $99. After you decide you want to move forward with our service, then we call and we talk about a package price with you. We only work with one doctor per metro area. That means if we're working in Michigan, in the Detroit area, Southeast Michigan, only one doctor. If we're working in New York, in the Manhattan, the boroughs area, we only work with one doctor in that area. This is how we work. We think it's unethical to hire in 4 or 5 different doctors at the same time in the same area. They're fighting over the same entire resources. You can call us immediately at 248-686-3345, and there's a good chance I will personally answer the phone. And you can also click the link below, fill out the form below. There will be something on this page for you to fill out. It will take you to the form. You can fill it out, and then someone will contact you. Appreciate you watching this today, spending I think I spent about 20 minutes after all on this presentation. This is absolutely, positively the best way to generate leads for your business. I can tell you that I am generating leads for my current cosmetic plastic surgery clients for 5 to 10 times less than they are able to generate leads for themselves. Thanks again for watching.